Mademoiselle, and this is my channel, and today we're going to be talking about signs that you are the toxic one. Now, this video is probably going to really hit a couple chords, but that's the point. We're all here to change, to help, to grow, and acknowledge that, you know, sometimes we just may not be the best person or we done some fucked up shit. Now, I realized upon looking at these notes, it's probably going to be a two-part video, so make sure you guys are subscribed. You hit that notification bell to get part 2. If you guys like my hoodie, it is part of my Media Hustle apparel shop for creators. You guys are free to go check down in the description and or the pinned comment down below. This is the Hustler hoodie, and it has Hustler spelled out in different currencies. It is just so cute. It's definitely my favorite. There's even a matching little jogger thing, whatever. Like, I love wearing this shit. Like, it's hands down one of my faves. If you guys want a one-on-one consultation, I do those as well for people that want to grow their YouTube or their Instagram platforms. There's also a free Facebook group that you guys can join in order to connect with other creators who are actually looking for creators to collab with. So with that being said, let's get into the video. I am not for the faint of heart. I tell the truth. I ain't gonna sugarcoat shit for any of y'all, and I'm definitely part of a lot of these back in the day. Still working on some of these. So this is not one of those holier than thou things. We all toxic. I'm toxic. You're toxic. We all toxic. Let me stop. But no, a lot of us have toxic traits. There's a difference between having a toxic trait and literally being a toxic person. If a lot of these resonate with you, you might really need to get some help, because that's really a problem. And it may not even necessarily be your fault entirely, but this is just to go over these things because I feel like a lot of people love to point fingers and be like, oh, that person did this to me, that person did that to me, da 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 da. And it's like, but what did you do? Nothing, right? Because you're toxic. So let's get over these. Now, like I said, it's gonna be two parts because there's a lot of different reasons that I didn't even think about, and it's crazy because reading some of these, I was like, oh my god, this used to be me. Yikes. Like, oh. Now this video is definitely gonna make some people kind of like upset because it kind of forces you to look in the mirror. It forces you to be more than accountable, and if any of these resonate with you, I suggest that you kind of look within yourself and see if it's actually, you know, something that you want to change, or maybe that's just a trait that you don't feel comfortable changing, whatever the case may motherfucking be. Okay, understand that I'm not coming at y'all. A lot of these did apply to me at one point. I'm not perfect. Everyone's a work in progress, and if this applies to you right now, it is what it is. You can choose to do what you will. So the first one is you can't keep a friend for shit. We all know people that always in a damn fallout. Every single month it's like, oh, this person don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with them either, they this, they that. Now there's a difference between losing friends all the time and genuinely cutting off people, or having people cut you off because you're genuinely just not someone that they need in their life anymore. The friendship has ran their course. Now this happens on a regular basis because at the end of the day, friendships are not going to last forever all of the time. It's very hard to find a forever friend that's going to last you your entire life. But if you're always having fallouts that are like brutal, like to the point where like y'all are cursing each other out, y'all going in on each other, and it's like a really serious issue all the time, and it's like a major source of conflict regularly, you might be the problem. And to add to that, people are always asking for space. Okay, if you always have people where it's like you with them all the time, you think the friendship's going well, and all of a sudden they're like, I need space, or they just disappear, they stop hanging out with you, they stop talking to you on a regular, consistent basis. Because mind you, sometimes this just happens once or twice, it's whatever, but if you're consistently having people that do this to you, 9 times out of 10 you're the toxic one. And to add to that, even if it's not people in your regular life, you always in a motherfucking dispute. We all know people that every day they arguing with somebody at Walmart, Dollar Tree, Coach, whatever. There's always an argument, there's always a problem because this person is always angry. Okay, you're always angry, you're always looking for a problem, and this is because your life is essentially a reality show. I will say, to be honest, my life was legitimately reality show, mainly because I kept a lot of toxic people around me at one point, but honestly that's also a reason people are not going to want to be around you, and reasons that you're probably the toxic one. Toxic people love chaos. Okay, they love problems, they love causing problems, they love being destructive, and of course this leads to them being very chaotic to the people around them, so no one's going to want to be around you. So if these top 3 resonate with you, you really need to get help, because those are the top 3 ways to know that you're toxic. That's a dead giveaway right there. You're always right even when you're not. You ever had somebody that literally get proved that they wrong with like statistics, data, or they just get red hand caught with some shit and they're always gonna find a way to be like, okay, well, this is why. Oh, well, no, but that's not that. Okay, it's not what it looks like. Literally, they do anything. They fight you to the nail to prove that they're right about something. Honestly, dead giveaway, people tell you you're toxic and they feel your toxic vibes. I actually had a friend like this that I talked about in my 12 days of story time that I just posted, where I could not bring her anywhere. Every single time I brought her around people were like, yeah, I don't like her vibe, don't bring her back. Like, it was that bad. So if you're one of those people where like interactions kind of change every time someone comes in contact with you, body language, just the, you know, the fact they don't hit you up no more, whatever the case may be, understand that's probably because you're toxic. Either you're intimidating, you said something to them, they didn't like the way your vibe was. That's probably because you have a negative, pessimistic type of vibe. Now, this is something I've always had an issue with. Like, people always said I'm pessimistic. I think like I am pretty pessimistic, but I also feel like, no, I think I'm way more realistic than anything. I'm not about to sit here and sugarcoat anything. I'm not about to sit here and just always act like the glass is half full when actually it's half empty. Yes, I'm one of those people, but at the same time, I don't really like push that onto people. If people ask me my opinions on things or whatever case, maybe I just give them. But if you're one of those people that like everything is negative, like I hate this, I hate that, I don't want to go, I don't want to do this, I don't like my life, like one of those people, understand you're probably the toxic one. Because of course, toxic people do this one thing very well: blame everybody but themselves. They have absolutely no accountability. It's as if they wasn't born with that shit. Of course, we all know this generation is allergic to accountability, but toxic people do this in a special rate of what the fuck, okay? Nothing is ever anybody's fault. Someone cuts them off, it's that person's fault. They literally hit somebody with a car, it's that person's fault. Like, everything is that person's fault no matter what. You're always seeking vengeance instead of peace. Now, honestly, I could say back in the day I was pretty vengeful. I don't know if it's the Capricorn in me or what, but now I genuinely don't give a fuck. Like, I don't have time. But I ain't gonna lie, if the opportunity presents itself and I have a way to get back at you, I might. That's toxic. Don't do that shit. Don't be like me. But even at that, like, I don't think I've acted on any type of vengeance for like probably 5 or 6 years. Like, I don't really got time for that anymore. It is what it is. But if you're constantly seeking vengeance against people instead of understanding that that person is no longer in your life and you should be happy with that, you're probably toxic. You are sarcastic. Sarcastic people, a lot of people kind of like give them props, and a lot of people kind of like live up to this expectation of being sarcastic, but it's like, no, because a lot of times a lot of sarcastic people hide really fucked up jokes in their sarcasm. And that brings me to my next one: making jokes at the expense of others just to crack a laugh or get some attention. That's also very toxic. And these are also the people that brings me to my next point: never like to apologize. They will hurt you, they will make a joke, they will say all of this goofy shit, then when you're mad about it, when you're upset, when you have a reaction, oh, you're so sensitive, when in actuality they're genuinely insensitive. And that brings me again to my next point: insensitivity. People that only care about themselves, they only care about, you know, the attention that they're bringing to themselves. All toxic. So I just hit what, 3, 4, 5 points all in one. Understand, if you do any of those things, it is not okay to make people feel bad just because you're sarcastic, just because you're cracking a joke. If someone's telling you they don't like something, or you're making someone genuinely uncomfortable with your remarks, that's not okay. It's not cool at all. You're very defensive. Anytime someone tells you about yourself, all of a sudden they're wrong, they're horrible, they're mean, they're not a real friend. Understand, it's a part of life for people to tell you that you're wrong. It's a part of life for people to tell you that you're not acting right, or they don't like the way that you're treating them. But if you're gonna get defensive and get like mad all the time, why do you think people gonna want to fuck with you? Nobody's gonna want to talk to you. Everybody's gonna just be sitting there like, yeah, I don't want to fuck with this person because they're genuinely toxic and I'm trying to tell them what they're doing is hurting me and they're not listening. Understand, you gotta be receptive just as a person. Like, you have to be able to communicate with people and let people communicate with you when they do not like something that you did. The next one is you don't want help. You don't want to talk to anyone about your issues. You don't want to talk to anyone about why you might be wrong in a situation. You don't want to talk to anyone about what you may be doing wrong because you don't want them to tell you that you're wrong. So you're not going to seek help. You're not going to go to therapy. You're not going to talk to a friend. You're not going to do anything because you don't want to risk understanding that you're probably hurting people. You do not like conflict resolution, aka confrontation. Now, I know a lot of people kind of hide behind this: oh, I have anxiety, oh, I'm really shy, blah blah blah. But understand, if you're the type of person that's always causing problems, always in problems, or having a problem where you're literally always in conflict with the same person, and you do not want to get into confrontation with them, and you're using that as an excuse to either be avoidant of the situation, which is another form of toxicity, sitting there like, oh, well, I'm just not gonna talk to you, well, I'm not gonna say nothing to you, you should know what you did, or, well, you know, I don't have to do anything, I don't have to say anything, this person did something to me. That's problematic, and it's very, very toxic. You can't just avoid all your problems. You can't just sit there and be like, oh, well, okay, okay? I have anxiety. I can't do conflict resolution. As a human being, you have to learn how to handle conflict. You have to learn how to handle confrontation, whether you have to go over the situation a million times in your head to prepare for it, or you have to have a mediator there to make sure things don't get out of hand. For whatever reason, you have to learn to deal with it. You can't just use that as an excuse to like avoid situations. Everything is a competition. Everything that your friend does, your sister does, your mom, your dad does, anything you can do, I can do better. That's literally your life mantra. That is a fucking problem. Life is not about being better than anyone. It's about being the best you can be for you and being an example for other people. If you're constantly sitting here talking about oh well, I did this, I did that, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, da da da, nobody can beat me on a regular basis, that's a problem. It's okay to have a little bit of like proudness of yourself. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to be like, you know what, I've gone this far, blah blah blah. But when it gets to a point where like you're talking down on others, you're talking shit about others, you're literally pushing your truth and your story onto others and then belittling what they're doing, and it's not even hurting other people, then that's all toxic, okay? It really is. I feel like, especially when it comes to people, when they get a new truth, right? When they like find the new great lost secrets, or like they find the new spiritual whatever, they're like, yeah guys, don't be going to your Catholic church, don't be going to your Baptist church, this the real God. In my Kukumanjagura whatever church, y'all should follow me. Those type of people irritate the fuck out of me, because it's like, nigga, shut the fuck up, okay? Just because you discovered something new doesn't mean that the other methods don't work, and just because you find something new and you know like nobody knows about it doesn't mean that everyone else is fucking stupid. You think you're too good for problems and conflict, and of course talking to someone that you know damn well you did wrong, okay? Because I don't got time for the mess. I don't want to talk to them. What I gotta talk to them for? Because you're toxic. That's why you gotta talk to them. Never think that you're too good to talk to someone just because, you know, maybe you have a higher education than them, or maybe you're doing well than them, or because you think they did you wrong, but then you don't even understand the other side of the story. Regardless of the reason that you're trying to avoid talking to someone, understand that's really fucked up, and if you hurt someone and they feel some type of way about it, you have to be able to be receptive to that. You want to fix everything. You're Captain Save-A-Ho, which is me. Yeah, I'm definitely Captain Save-A-Ho. That's something I could say I worked on so hard from like maybe 2019 to 2022 now. But actually I feel like, yeah, I'm kind of like maybe like 90% done with that shit. But you want to fix everything and everyone, because everyone is essentially a project to you. Everyone near you has to be their highest level of self, their highest level of this, that, and the third, because at the end of the day, you think you're perfect, you think you're amazing, you think that no one else can be above you, and you know, everyone just has to be fixed. But one thing I had to realize was a lot of people don't want conflict resolution for their issues, okay? They don't even want you to listen, to be honest. Sometimes like a lot of us like will kind of like get a, well, I don't do this, but I see a lot of people like they'll kind of like get a situation out of someone even though they don't want to talk about it. They'll literally be like, I don't want to talk about this is not something I want to talk about right now. But then you'll sit there and be like, okay, but talk about it, like what's going on, like tell me. So in this essence now, I just ask what the person wants. I'm like, okay, what do you want to hear? Do you want to talk about it? Like, what do you want to gain from telling me this? Because I feel like a lot of people, and this actually happened with my other toxic friend I was talking about, my 12 days of Storytimes, they could just, you know, rant and they just want you to shut the fuck up. I learned I can't be friends with people like that, and all my friends are the same, where if you're always telling them an issue, they're most likely going to give you a solution, because that's just me. I've always been like that. I'm all about solutions. I don't want to hear you talk about the same shit all the damn time and then not do anything about it, and then you literally wasting my time running my ear about it. That's just me. Like, if you don't want a solution, don't tell me about it. If you don't want a solution and you don't want me to say anything, honestly, make that be known. Be like, hey, I just want to talk about this. I don't want a solution. I'm just venting, you know? Because sometimes like a lot of people don't know, like, oh, you know, it's not your job to fix things, whether it's our upbringing, whether it's just being woman. Like, a lot of us have been brought up to like nurture and fix and heal, and that's not our job, okay? You're taking on the responsibilities of all these people, trying to heal them, trying to fix them, and a lot of people don't want that shit. A lot of people just want to stay in their own toxicity of always fucking complaining about shit and never fixing it, and that's also another form of toxicity. Sitting here complaining and thinking everyone is supposed to fix your issues or have pity for you. Having a pity party is like epitome of toxic. So if you have a friend like that, or if you're like that, that's a problem. Misery loves company, and if you're going to be miserable all the time and not care that you're being miserable all the time, and then literally rope people into your miserable mess, no one's going to want to be around you. You're gonna start seeing people disappear. You're gonna start seeing people talk shit about you. You're gonna start hearing people saying that you're jealous of them because your life is nowhere near theirs. Whatever case may be, it just comes with a slew of issues. So best case scenario, keep your issues to yourself and probably only confide on 1 or 2 people, because if you just out here spreading all your damn miserable shit on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, looking for a damn pity party party, whatever, or you know, you just telling all the people in your life about your problems, it's gonna backfire for you, especially when you not even trying to do nothing about it. People just gonna look at you as a fucking annoying ass bitch that don't know how to shut the fuck up. The next one is pointing out someone's flaws to make them feel bad. Now I know a lot of us have been victims of this, especially when it comes to Black or Caribbean households or even African households, where you know, we have those people that like maybe they're overweight. Okay, this has a lot to do with body shaming or any other types of issues that may not be like the social norms, whatever the case may be. Oh well, you need to lose some weight, and they saying that shit in front of people in the family, guests or whatever. Or oh wow, like blah blah blah, you know, she going to therapy. Yeah, you know, she going to that crazy people shit. Or the people that just be like, damn, like why don't you do what I do? Like, you know, like I can help you. And it's like you didn't ask for their fucking help, you didn't ask for their opinion, you didn't ask for them to be a rude ass bitch. And then when you curse them out, now you're toxic. It's like, bitch, no, that's a genuine reaction to you being a fuck ass person. And I have every right to be upset. So what we're not gonna do is try to make it seem like someone's a bad person for standing up for themselves. And this is something that I know a lot of us can resonate with because it happens all the time, and it honestly leads a lot of us to, you know, be very insecure with ourselves. So understand, if you're the type of person that's on the other end of that, like literally pointing out people's flaws and stuff in front of other people, even if it's something little like, girl, your fly open in front of a group of people, honestly, there's certain things you could just tell someone to the side. Like, it really is. And there's certain things you just shouldn't say. Period. The next one is toxic positivity. Now, honestly, this is something you see a lot with a lot of boss babes and these MLM motherfuckers and all these people that trying to tell you that they could be millionaires at 25, and a lot of them don't own anything and they're full of shit, and if they do own anything, they owned it on the backs of other people and scamming. But anyway, oh my god, fuck the fact that you're mentally ill, fuck the fact that you are depressed and your mom just died. Work, get up, do something. Yes, life goes on, but at the end of the day, whatever you're feeling, you have to allow yourself to feel it. And I feel like a lot of people, especially when they get a new business venture, they start these little MLMs, they don't understand that a lot of the positivity that they think they're spewing is not positive at all. If you're grieving, you're depressed, whatever the case may be, you have to be able to feel that. Depressed is not the right word if you're sad, because depression is a real medical ailment. Okay, so if you're really sad, if you're grieving, if you're going through a breakup, if you're really stressed or whatever, you have to feel those feelings. You have to understand why you're feeling those feelings, assess them, and move on properly. You can't just skip all of those grievances and processes and skip to, oh, success, work, because you're gonna overwork yourself, you're gonna overwhelm yourself, and then it's going to lead to depression. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand the difference between perseverance and like healthy balance between happiness and like work. Because yes, on one hand, the life does go on, the world still goes round while you're grieving and all of that, but you need to be able to process those emotions in order to be successful. You can't just work, team no sleep, whatever the case may be, all damn day and think you're going to be a functioning human being, because that's just not how you are. You are human. You need to be able to pace yourself with these types of things, especially when you're having heavy emotions like that, because then they turn into mental illnesses. And then of course another toxic thing is when people invalidate your mental illness or whatever the case may be and try to say, oh well, you know, pray it away, drink it away, party it away, fuck it away, whatever the case may be. Like, that is very toxic. You're not taking into consideration that someone may be going through something very real. But then again, in retrospect, if you're literally sitting there 3-4 years and you're sad, at that point it's pretty much depressing. I'm not diagnosing you, but you guys get the point. It is your social responsibility, if you're an adult, to go get help. You know, at that point you need to go and say like, okay, I'm literally not being productive, I can't focus, I'm really sad all the time, it's hard to get out of bed, I feel like shit, I need help. But if you're just gonna sit there and make excuses, and again, like I said before, create a pity party, that's when it becomes toxic. Understand there's a healthy balance between processing normal human emotions and literally persevering through it, because persevering is getting the help you need. Persevering is literally, no matter how you feel, you try to get the help to maneuver around that, not just, oh, skipping over it and happy. Like, no. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that, and there's a lot of toxic people out there push this narrative of work, and it's like, no, that's not how life goes. And that brings me to my next one. Friends and families never tell you about their success. You're the last one to know about everything, and even worse, you don't get invited to shit. You're not invited to nobody's baby showers, you're not invited to nobody's birthday parties, you're not invited to nobody's business openings, nothing, because everyone thinks you're toxic. They don't want your energy around them. This is definitely a way to know that you're the toxic one, and everyone's just afraid to tell you, because like at that point it's like, what the fuck, how am I the last one to know this all the time? Yeah, that's probably why. And my final one is, all conversations are one-sided with you. You never ever ask anyone how they're doing. Every single time you have an issue, your issue is more important than anyone else's. So honestly, I think we all have somebody somebody in our life that's like this. I personally don't anymore, but I know I did, especially last year. And it's funny because like there's a lot of people that like back in the day they used to be like, yo, Shorty, I never know your problems, I never know your business, you never tell me anything. It's like because all the time when I talk to you, you're talking about yourself. If I bring up myself, you revert it back to yourself. So yeah, bitch, of course you're not gonna know nothing about me. And plus I'm very, very particular about who I tell my business to, but 9 times out of 10 if I want to tell someone about something, they're just literally sitting there on the phone talking about their work, their man, their life, their church, their this. So I just sit there and listen while I edit my videos, because at that point, bitch, I ain't gonna pay attention to you, you ain't paying attention to me. And yeah, maybe that's kind of toxic. Like maybe I should say something like, yo, you never let me talk about my issues. But at the end of the day, yeah, that doesn't really happen to me enough anymore. Back in the day, those people had way more issues than just that. So it was like, they just had to go all together. But understand that if you're literally having friends where like they're coming to you with their issues, they start telling you and then you revert it back to yourself. Like it's one thing to give yourself as an example, right? Like, damn, you're going through a breakup. I remember when I went through my breakup, that shit was crazy. How do you feel about it? Don't be like, oh, I went through my breakup, this nigga did this. Oh my God, girl, I gotta tell you, this shit was wild. Like, yo, this shit, yo, oh my God, it was wicked. Like I went through this and I went through that and da 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 da. And now an hour has passed and that person didn't even tell you what the fuck happened because you just went on talking about yourself. No one called you to hear about your ex. You're talking about their ex. If anything, maybe you could wait for them to express them feelings and then you can tell your story, but never just dominate a conversation like that, because it makes the person feel unvalidated. It makes them feel very, very like bad because you're trying to talk to someone about your issues and you're not even listening. You're just talking about yourself. It's just very inconsiderate. So be very mindful if you're doing that. So that's it for part 1 of ways to know that you're toxic. Make sure you guys peep the description box for all the links that I referenced down below. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that. Follow my Haitian channel. Like I said, it's down below. And I'm gonna see y'all next time. Tune in for part 2. Bye.